Thanks to QiYi for sponsoring today's video. They were gracious enough to send me the QiYi WuWei M, and if you guys are in the need of any sort of speedcubing related products, definitely check them out with the link in the description below. Let's get into the video. What's up everybody, it's me Fariz, and it's been a damn long time since I've been on this channel. It's been quite a long time since I've released a review for a cube even, because the last few videos were about cameras. So finally I'm back with a cube review, and today we're taking a look at an incredibly interesting cube, which is the QiYi WuWei M. It's a $15 magnetic puzzle, and while it's not incredibly cheap for being a magnetic puzzle, it's still at a really reasonable price point for people who are still not incredibly invested into the cube market yet, right? Like, we've seen innovations like the Gnarly M and the 354M V2, and despite those being amazing puzzles and being at a rather budget price point for GAN, they're still not exactly economical for people who are still sub 30 or sub 20. So this cube right here, in my opinion, really checks out those boxes. So today we're going to be talking all about it. So this cube right here, let's just begin with a few basic things about it. It's not a 56mm puzzle, it's actually I think 55mm, because I can definitely feel that it's smaller than my 356X, and it's very dense. It's a 90-gram puzzle, which is actually on the heavier side of the spectrum, and it's not like it's a bad thing. A lot of people have been going over the trend of light cubes and thinking, oh god, I don't want to use a heavy cube, but really we've been using cubes like the GT3M, which in itself isn't all that light. So really a cube being heavy isn't a problem at all, and I quite like this cube. It also has this glossy finish all over it, which makes the colors pop really well. I love the shades on this thing, but beyond that, it also grips really well. It's not like one of those cubes that just slip out of your hand. You can definitely grip this well. You can find it stickered as well as stickerless, but I think you can only get it black stickered, but if you can get it in white or primary, let me know in the comment section, because I haven't seen that available anywhere. But anyways, that's all that you need to know when it comes to the basic things. Now let's get into my experience with this puzzle over the last 2 months. Now, given the fact that I haven't uploaded a video in a long time means I've had a ton of time to test this cube out. I've broken it in and I've done hundreds of solves on it, and it's been quite a nice time, I'm not gonna lie. There are a few things that I wish were better about this cube, but overall it's a really nice cube. So as far as the feeling goes for this cube, it's actually quite soft, crunchy, and tactile. The magnets seem quite strong when you turn it really slow, but they're actually quite mellow, okay? When you're turning really fast, you don't really feel them. The only thing you feel is the stability, which I quite like. And another thing about this cube is that it glides really well. And out of the box, it's quite fast, and it's lubed pretty well out of the factory, so you don't need to do a lot of messing around with this cube to get it to a place where you might like it. I think this is already at a place out of the box where most people will like it, right? And that's the good thing about this cube. With cubes like the QiYi V2M or the Vel0x V2M, you still need to do a little bit of tinkering, but I found that this puzzle does quite well on factory settings. And fun fact, I've been using this cube on factory settings for as long as I've had it. Yes, it's currently on factory settings, and I quite like it. And beyond that, the corner cutting is also really good. It cuts beyond 45 degrees with ease, and that's something I like about it, even though it's not going to be on all sides, so you might want to tension it a little bit to get everything nice and even. But beyond that, corner cutting is great. I love that. Now, I've done a lot of solves on this puzzle, and while I don't get the exact times that I would like, and while I do enjoy the feeling of this puzzle, which is really great by the way, I think that it just doesn't deliver in the category of performance as well as it does in the category of feeling, and that is mainly because this cube isn't for me particularly. I do love it, don't get me wrong, but the thing about this puzzle is that at times it's gonna have these stability lockups, or it just doesn't want to move. It's trying to hold its shape and it won't budge. And those are the times when I get really frustrated with this puzzle, because it's probably gonna happen once in every 10 solves or once in every 20 solves, but regardless, it's very, very frustrating to have a cube quit on you like that, right? So whenever I'm trying to solve, you'll see that I'm struggling to execute an algorithm because it's actually locking up, and that's the one thing that I don't like about this puzzle. Everything about this puzzle is nice, and even though it's not as customizable as the other cubes that we're seeing nowadays, I think this cube definitely gets a pass at being $15, being magnetic, having a great feel, delivering quite decent performance. I think this cube is a really good choice for those of you who are sub 25 or sub 30 who still don't want to invest a whole lot into your cubes. And I can definitely understand that. Not everybody wants to spend $60 on a puzzle just so that they can get the optimum performance. Because yes, getting a better cube will take away all of the limiting factors when it comes to your speed, but more important than the cube is the cuber themselves. And that's why I think that this puzzle right here is a great deal for those of you who are looking for a budget puzzle, not quite on the lowest end of the spectrum, but somewhere in the middle or on the lower middle of the spectrum. And I think this is quite a good cube. So I think QiYi's done quite a great job, but if I were to give them any suggestions on how to make this better, I'd say focus less on the stability, like keep it at a proper stable level like the QiYi Vel0x that we all know and love, right? Because I feel like QiYi's been over-engineering some cubes for the past few years, like the QiYi Vel0x Power. I think it's just too, I don't know, it just has too much friction going on. And this thing, it's just a bit too stable at times. But don't get me wrong, this is a great puzzle, and like many other YouTubers, I do love it, right? That pretty much does it for today's video. There's not a lot to talk about this cube, but I hope I gave you guys a proper perspective of what this cube is like, and regardless of whether you got a proper look at it, a proper understanding of what this cube is like or not, I definitely recommend you check it out at some competition or borrow it from a friend and see how it feels, where your opinion stands on this, because really if you're gonna make a purchase, you better be sure about it, right? Yeah. Anyways, that does it for today's video. I'm really glad to see you guys again, and with that being said, I'll see all you beautiful people in the next video. Bye!